Secret Service agents Barry Donadio and Tim Miller. Barry, I don't get it. How did this guy get into the secure perimeter?
Thanks for having me. Great to be with Tim Miller as well again. I think that gate that he approached was right on the road, so you have to get in and out of the residence somehow. So that was an entry gate, my understanding, right there where the vehicles come in. It's also my understanding, as it's being reported, that he tried to get in while a vehicle was coming out. Now, I don't know if he was in a vehicle or he went on foot, but it would be pretty noticeable with a young man with a 12-gauge pump shotgun trying to get in. So I imagine they addressed him instantly, and they did exactly what they were trained to do. And let me tell you, the Secret Service, they are surgical shooters, and Tim can tell you as well. They are surgical. They're not just great pistol shooters. They are the best pistol shooters at a minimum with all their other firearms that they have. So I think this is a combination between an attention-getting act, a suicide by cop, and if he had the opportunity to maybe hurt somebody in the first family.
Well, yeah, I get the suicide by cop vibe on this, but Tim, I gotta go back to the fact that this guy, this 21-year-old kid, was with no criminal record, was able to breach a secure perimeter. And it just seems to me, with all of the attempts on the president's life, Mar-A-Lago ought to be like Fort Knox.
Yeah, Todd, it is actually. I live about 10 minutes from Mar-a-Lago. Barry's 100% right. The Secret Service operates in what's called concentric circles of protection. This was an outer perimeter gate that was designed, obviously, to stop unauthorized people from coming in. But remember, when you have concentric circles, the purpose of having follow-up circles behind that, if you breach one, which in this case he did, there's an immediate response. And Barry's 100% right. They did exactly what they should have done. Now, remember, a shotgun's an area weapon. That pointed at officers. One shot could have taken them all out. They didn't have a choice. The big question is why? Why does this keep happening? Why did crooks try to kill President Trump? We see these recurring themes as to young men sacrificing their life for what? That's the big question that needs to be answered, and they'll investigate that for sure.
Barry, as part of that investigation, no doubt they're probably already talking with this guy's family, who apparently are all pro-Trump supporters. This guy never espoused any anti-Trump rhetoric at all. What is that investigation looking like at this moment, and what would the investigators be doing?
At this moment, certainly they have issued warrants to try to get into the house, talk to the family, talk to the neighbors. They are going to, with a fine-tooth comb, go over his phone, internet behaviors, probably dating back 5 years or even more. I would not be surprised also if some of our intelligence agencies are looking into the possible connection of could Iran or another foreign adversary manipulated this young man to do this. So, yes, it's the question that is on my mind. What makes him, a Trump supporter, coming from a Trump-supporting family, and then like a ticking time bomb, go off in a matter of seconds, decide to leave, go missing, show up at the president's house with a shotgun and gas to potentially perpetrate an arson? I think maybe mental health issues. Maybe he could have been off his medicine. I'm only speculating, but based on my experience, it seems like we're going down that road of what I have seen, whether it's at presidential residence or even at the White House.
Tim, we know that the mom, there was some correspondence that led her to become very alarmed, and they reached out to the police and the FBI. So I suspect we are going to eventually find out what was really going on here and what this guy's true intent was. What say you?
No, I totally agree. And they're going to turn every rock over. Let me be clear. We saw this with crooks. There hasn't been any published information that the parents were aware of plotting. And to Barry's point, this could be mental illness, but it also could be attributed to the violent rhetoric that is out there from the left, celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Calling for attacks on police officers. Let me tell you, for a young man who's still very, very developing in his frontal cortex, and that whole thing is happening, this can be very, very traumatic. And I think maybe it's a combination, but we'll know that because at the end of the day, they're going to go through all of his computer, all of his social media. That'll be a treasure trove.
Right.
Plus, you heard the FBI basically saying we need camera footage and everything around the area.
Gentlemen, another big story we've been following, this situation down in Mexico where a number of areas are coming under attack. Of course, we now understand U.S. authorities shared the intel that led to the killing of El Mencho, the big cartel leader. Here's what I don't get, Barry. You've got thousands of tourists down there, many of them Americans, and some of these Americans are literally out on the streets doing TikTok videos. Are these people idiots? Do they not understand what kind of danger they may be in right now?
That's an active war zone as far as I'm concerned right now. You have cartels fighting for every last bit of survival that it can against the Mexican government. I applaud the actions of the Mexican government. I personally have been waiting for this maybe 40 years. So I think this is under the motivation of President Trump. I have heard reports that even U.S. forces did have boots on the ground, unconfirmed, not sure. I hope so. And I think that we should do everything in our power to support the Mexican authorities. There is also another video I saw of a truckload of cartel members ramming a Mexican police car. That Mexican police officer is fighting for his life. I wish I were there to help him. I think he died, and it's just horrible. They need to get assets there. And you know what? If Mexico asks us for help, I think the president should send military help in there to secure the American citizens and to get Mexico's sovereignty back from all these drug cartels.
Tim, I hope everybody took a long, hard look at Puerto Vallarta over the weekend. All you could see for miles were big plumes of smoke. This is why Donald Trump wants these very dangerous illegals out of our country, because he doesn't want that happening here in the United States of America.
That's 100% right, Todd. And let's be clear, these are the people that have been pumping poison into the U.S., killing our kids for decades. And to Barry's point, I'm really glad that they're paying a price. Let's be clear, they are deeply embedded, deeply influential. This is the first round of what I think could be a very protracted war. And to your point, Americans can no longer wander the world without considering their own security. If I had a family member there, I'd be saying, get out of there as quickly as you can, because you can't control what's going on down there.
No, you can't. And guys, we're going to have to leave it there, folks. If you want to have a south of the border experience, go to Taco Bell. Guys, thank you.
Thanks for having us, Tom.
All right.